All right. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Zoobox Goes to the Movies, kinda, sorta. This week we needed to do something, and of course, at times like these, elections coming up, we need the record set straight. We need to put history into perspective. We wanted to see who our heroes are. Okay, the unassailable, unimpeachable integrity of James Rutherford Comey. I don't know if that's really his middle name, but I'm assuming he's a classy guy. He's very patriotic. Rutherford seems like it would be a waspy thing, but it's like bridging the gap. It's like two worlds collide, the founding of the country. You know where I'm going with this. I'm spitballing. I am out of gas right now. So, yeah, we checked out the Showtime's miniseries or event, The Comey Rule, which is a two-part thing. They had the first part was on Sunday. The second part was tonight. First part was 90 minutes. Second part, 2 hours. And we're going to talk about it. Now, we know if you watch Zoobox, or we don't really touch too much on politics on Zoobox Goes to the Movies, but we're going to tonight. So if that's something that bothers your sensibilities,
get out of here.
Get out of here.
Get
Go.
out of here.
I said go. I'm like I'm like John Lithgow at the end of Harry and the Hendersons. Just leave. Nobody likes you.
Or Airbud.
Nobody wants you here.
Airbud.
Does that happen in Airbud?
Doesn't it? Yeah, I think it because that weird.
I made a video about Airbud.
Wasn't
I have no idea.
The clown dude who's the janitor or something. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that guy's. See, this is okay. See, there's a creepy birthday clown that uses Airbud for his birthday crown stuff. His shows. I think maybe he stole him or whatever. He's not very nice to Airbud. Okay. And then Airbud Airbud literally falls off the back of a truck because he hits like a pothole and he spills his beer or something. He falls out the back of the truck, and then Airbud. And then the rest of it's pretty magical.
It's very comparable to the Comey Rule, actually. What we're about to talk about.
Actually, you know what? The expressions that Airbud, the golden retriever, has on his face are very similar to the way that Jeff Daniels portrays James Comey. Hold on. Let me bring up the deets.
Well, you bring up the deets. Let me do a quick little plug here. Listen, guys, look at this new packaging for El Jefe, limited edition from ASC Supplements. It's got a snow cone flavor. Okay, listen. I got two of these bad boys, and I cracked one open. It tastes great. Gave me a good exercise pump. No, it was good. It really is good, though. I mean, go check it out. ASC supplements.com. Go get it now. And ZB20 for 20% off. And he's a veteran-owned and operated business, so go get that done. It's our only sponsor.
I mean, he is a very James Comey-like figure for his own company.
Yes.
As presented in the Comey Rule.
The pinnacle of integrity. We'll go down with this ship.
We watched the Comey Rule. It is created, written, and I think directed by Billy Ray.
Billy Ray Cyrus?
Yes, the one and the same. No, he's mostly a writer, it seems like. He wrote Captain Phillips, Shattered Glass, the Hunger Games, the original Hunger Games. He wrote Overlord from a few years ago.
He wrote the original Hunger Games? Ray Bradbury?
No.
What?
Billy Ray, he's a screenwriter. He's a Hollywood screenwriter mostly.
So you're telling me he is the founding father of Scientology, also known as Philip Seymour Hoffman.
I mean, he's got credits going all the way back into the 90s, like Volcano.
Oh, wow.
Hidden Assassin, Color of Nights.
Oh, wait, Volcano, that's the one with...
You've seen Suspect Zero? You remember the MK Ultra movie with Ben Kingsley?
I have
Flight Plan, Breach, State of Play. I mean, we were both big fans of Captain Phillips, though.
I mean, I thought Captain Phillips was all right.
But you know what I can see, though? I can see the guy who wrote Captain Phillips writing this and spearheading this.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, kind of, the corny shit works in Captain Phillips because you want it to be, because it's an everyman story. It's not literally intelligence community propaganda. Oh, I'm so sorry. Spoilers.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Anyways, it's written, created, believed, directed by this dude. It stars Jeff Daniels as the unimpeachable James Comey, Holly Hunter as Sally Yates, Michael Kelly as Andrew McCabe, Jennifer L. as Patrice Comey, Scoot McNairy as Rod Rosenstein, Jonathan Banks as James Clapper, Una Chaplin as Lisa Page, Amy Summets as Trisha Anderson, Stephen Pascal as Peter Strzok, Brendan Gleeson is Donald Trump, and there's a bunch of others.
Can you do me a favor? Give me a favor. Do me a favor.
Barack.
Oh, no. Find out
Kingsley
who played. Though that guy was awful. But go and find who did John Brennan. Was that really John Brennan?
No, that was really that was just footage from CNN.
Little. No. In the White House. They meet in the White House. Oh. And it looks just like him. Like it looks.
No. That's the guy who's playing James Clapper.
No, dude. No. John Brennan, CIA. I'm telling you, I just watched the film.
I know. Look. Okay. Well, the Kingsley here played Barack Obama. I do want to say William Sadler, who is a great character actor, played Michael Flynn. And they just dunk on him basically.
Well, they make him look like a
bumbling idiot,
or like some I don't know, like when he's in his little Hawaiian shirt and he's like taking the call from the Dominican Republic. You're like, okay,
John Brennan.
I'm telling you that it was him.
I'm about to tell you, John Bourgeois. Oh, can you believe that? John Bourgeois, a bougie man, bourgeois. I don't know. He's been around for a long time.
That guy looks just like him. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty close. But because he's in it, but they also show the real John Brennan on TV. I think, right? Okay.
Yeah, honestly.
What do I know, guys? I was laughing the whole time. I could barely see through the tears streaming down. Actually, part 2 was really boring.
No, I'll tell you this much. At least the first part. Part 1 was somewhat entertaining. Like, it was somewhat entertaining.
Let's I'm going to read the log line, then we're going to get straight into it. Okay, Jeff Daniels and Brendan Gleeson stars former FBI Director James Comey and President Donald J. Trump in this limited series of the story of two powerful men whose strikingly different ethics and loyalties put them on a collision course. Anyways, so Dan. Okay. We just kind of starting to get into this.
Yeah, I thought
what's your impressions? What's your takeaway
of the entire series?
Just give me your broad thoughts before we get specific.
I thought it was everything in it's been pretty much proven wrong.
I know. I was like, when did they write this? Like 3 years ago?
Yeah, this is obviously 2018. Like they wrote it like around that time, and I don't know when Comey's book came out because that's what they said it's based on. But Truth, Lies, and Integrity or some bullshit, whatever the fuck it is. But most of this has been disproven. Most of this stuff, and even when bringing up like the Steele dossier, I just thought it was a little. Dude. I mean, but you're like, okay.
I literally. I'm sorry.
They handled it pretty fairly. They just paint Trump as such a caricature.
They never even say that it's not like that. It's completely uncredible in the entire show. They keep referring back to it, and they're like, well, we don't really know though. And he seems really upset about it. He keeps bringing it up, so there's probably something there.
During the initial review of like Crossfire or whatever, like they do bring up the Steele dossier, and they're like, listen, this is not verified. None of this is verified.
Oh, for sure, 100%. They say that, but they do. But that's like a get out of jail free thing because they use it constantly as an implication of like Trump's like attitude and why he cares about it so much, and why would he care about it so much if it's not true? And is this compromise? Like they keep using it and they keep talking about it.
I don't remember them really bringing it up too much, like except maybe like
the second half.
Well, the second half, like it's more about how Trump responds to the dossier.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
Not about them trying to use it in any type of investigation.
No, but I do think the air is there to continuously talk about it.
Well, I think it's there to. What they're doing is they're just trying to frame Trump as trying to hide something. Trump is trying to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like, it's framing, but they're not literally saying like the Steele dossier is the crux of everything.
No, not at all. It's just but it is so hysterical. I was watching the first part last night, and I was on my computer, so I was like taking screenshots and throwing stuff up on Twitter. And I took a screenshot of it because I had the subtitles on. And when they throw the Steele dossier down on the table, they introduce the Steele dossier, the subtitle says "Thunder Rumbles," and it's like this big dramatic.
Like I'll say this much though about the acting wasn't terrible for most of them. Like I thought they were okay. Like I was like, okay, it's Showtime, dude. It's not HBO. Like you expect more from HBO. You know?
HBO passed on this show. They're like, I don't know, guys.
Well, did they really?
No,
Oh,
I have no
probably
idea.
though. It probably got shopped around, I'm sure, to a few different outlets and stuff. But it was the first part was at least entertaining to me. Like I watched it and I was like, you know what? At least they weren't being complete buffoons. Like I didn't feel like they were being complete buffoons. I think obviously you knew with this how they're painting James Comey as some like integral or integrity-driven, ethical main character.
He's a patriot. He's
a
basically
patriot.
America as a man.
Well, like the thing is, like we all know that Comey went rogue, like now, and we know Comey did do things that were outside the realm of what his authority was, like what he was supposed to be doing.
They touch on that a little bit in the movie with Sally Yates.
But we can all admit, though, and I can admit this: the first fucking 6 months of Trump's presidency was probably pretty fucking wild.
Oh yeah, it was a shit show, dude.
Yeah, it was a shit show. I think that is accurate, probably.
Yes.
To some degree. I can't get over it. And like honestly, the guy that plays Trump, I've seen him in a bunch of movies. I know who he is, but he's awful. Like he
did. Well, dude, I thought. Listen, my take was like this. I felt like I was watching fucking SNL cold open for 4 hours. Like, it's unintentionally hilarious. The writing is so overbearing, like it's so overdone, that all the time I was like, "Who the fuck wrote this shit?" Like I wish I had the ability to like sit down and watch part 2 and take screenshots and stuff, but like holy shit, it is just every liberal wet fantasy of what they hope happened, but it's written like you have to be a fucking moron to like. It's not subtle about it. It's like beating you in the face with a hammer. Let me just read the people at home this beat from the series. This is from part 1. It says if the country ever starts to distrust the Bureau's intentions, it's a bell that can never be unrung. Like, and the show is full of like these very dramatic, very like, I was just like,
well, it's drama, so it makes sense.
I know, but there's good drama and bad drama.
No, I mean, I agree. I don't listen.
And all the stuff with like the Russian guys that they never really did anything with, but they would just cut away to these shady Russian dudes like drinking booze out of a flask, being like, ha, 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 we are making Trump win. Huh?
Yeah. And you just kind of, I mean,
President Putin would be very happy with us right now. We are the bots.
I just can't. I couldn't take it very seriously most of the time. But I was going when I went in. I tried to go in with an open mind and be like, okay, I know I'm a Trump guy. Like I like Trump, so I gotta try to stay away as the best I can, is from my own what's it called, biases, sure. But it really is just blah. But at least the first episode to me is the better of the two. The first episode was more entertaining.
The first one is more entertaining. It's paced better. It doesn't feel like a painful retread of things that you know are not true. They're just like recontextualizing things that happen and then giving you conversations that they don't know whether these happened or not, to reframe everything to give them a positive light. I'm saying like this is just propaganda for the intelligence community.
Well, it's weird. It's just weird how.
Well, some of the weirder stuff was, though, they don't even deny the fact that they're all like sycophantic, weird, like into Hillary, and they don't really actually care if she was guilty or not. Like that was kind of like, especially when they're talking to Comey's family. They use Comey's family as a vector for this message of being like, don't you want to know if she's guilty? Not really, Dad. Yeah, not me, Jimmy. Like him and his evil daughters and wife. These evil, amoral people, and they're like, they could have been the first woman president. Like, you're just like, holy shit.
What I did get a kick out of was if they showed anything, and that like maybe tipped their hat or tipped their hand a little bit, it was the day after the election, and like everyone's like crying, like in the office, like this woman's crying.
And you're the FBI's office.
on the FBI's office, the 7th floor, which is like the all leadership, like these are the top dudes in the FBI, right? And you're like, and everyone's shocked, and they're going, and beforehand, like how they're like, well, we're not supposed to interfere with the elections, and so we can't release this stuff or whatever. And you're like, what are you talking? What does this discussion even mean? Like you have something, like at least Comey, if this is, it's obviously true that he had some part in actually releasing that a few days before the election, like a week or whatever. Like he did play a role in releasing this information. So I'm not going to say, like, this is where the deep state narrative kind of falls apart to some degree, because why? Why would they release it?
Why would they release it?
If Hillary Clinton's emails. Why? Why would they release it a few days before the election if their intention was to get her elected? You know, like if that's really like from the conspiracy theorist side, like
I mean, that's why, like, I think something like this, maybe you can make the argument that, like, Comey was, like, maybe isn't just that good under pressure, or maybe he did feel obligated in some way to be like, well, if this comes out that we didn't do this and we got this information, like, what is that going to look like? Like, he, to be fair to James Comey, that is a damned if you do, damned if you don't moment.
Well, I don't think it's necessarily Comey's the director. There's no way he could be that knowledgeable, and there's no way he was that involved. There's just no way that he was that internally involved in those.
Well, in that case specifically, I mean, that was a big deal, man. Like that would hit the top, right?
I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't hit the top, but you're looking at the investigators is really where the issue. Like, it's not like he sat there and went through every email with them and, like, you know.
No, they don't show that. They don't show that in the show either. It's not like he's sitting there like at home looking at emails.
Right, and I like how they slip in the Peter Strzok line when they're like about to bang, and they're like, "Yeah, we'll stop them." What do you mean? Ooh, they're gonna give me a hard on with that.
I think that stuff is from the text messages.
Well, no, because he doesn't say the people. I believe he doesn't slip in the line. You know, well, the people will stop him or whatever.
No, I know that. Yeah. No,
like, listen.
But that's what I'm saying. That's an example of recontextualizing something that you know to make them look good. That's what it is. Like, well, this is what he really meant.
Yeah, right, exactly. Well, this is where the propaganda comes in. And I honestly don't think it's propaganda like designed by the FBI or like the CIA. I mean, it could be. I mean, I'm not saying it is. I just would sit there and go, you have a lot of line-towing Democrats and liberals that work in this place, and they were going to frame it in any way to make Trump look bad.
It's like, one of the most disturbing turns in culture is like Trump has turned people to like just like so up for just believing anything that comes out of our intelligence community. Where you're just like, this has never been something like it's never been that way. I would never suggest that like every facet or every agent or anything like that is a bad person. It has nefarious intent, whatever. It does seem like those guys get out of control. Those people get out of control a lot though. And we have like since their founding of history, every few years when things get declassified, you're like, wow, that's really fucking crazy.
Well, I mean, just because listen, there's got to be secrecy and confidentiality in some of the things that they do, like.
But they are by nature a manipulative entity.
Well, like I just watched. I've been really into political dramas as of lately, and I just watched The Good Shepherd with Matt Damon, directed by Robert De Niro, and it's weird because the liberal left, the Hollywood elites, and like the liberal left or whatever have always kind of painted to be wary of the intelligence agencies. Like they've kind of usually painted them as like a shady operation.
Yeah.
Even when they I watched The Ides of March recently too, and you know, even though it's a Democratic candidate, you know, like they still show who this guy really is. Like we're in this respective movie, like there was at least some sort of fairness. Like they didn't just attack and like make always the bad guy a Republican or whoever. It's just like the established government is always an issue. Like there's an issue there.
It's like fighting the man, basically.
Yeah. Honestly, I can't believe The Good Shepherd got that many bad reviews. I was blown away. It's like
because I think people think it's slow.
I like it.
I do too.
I enjoy it. I like it a lot.
It's a great like lazy afternoon movie.
Dude, it's just good. It was raining, you know, the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Don't fact check me on that, but it could have been. But I
And
was just
he's like,
watching it.
I'm done wistfully looking out my window at the street, and the
Yeah.
rain pattering on the street. I
Yeah.
think it's time I watch The Good Shepherd.
Well, I just to sit there and say that human beings are not corruptible and not able to do things for their own vested interests as far as like what they believe. You know, like
Sure.
it just makes sense that these guys who were educated, probably some of the best schools in the nation, that have a very left-leaning bias. I'm not saying that they're not able to leave that at the door, but if you view the guy coming in, and I think they frame it pretty well in the defense of the Showtime, is that they really believed Trump. If this is true, they really believed he was an asset. They really did.
Do you think that they really did, or was this something to undermine the administration because they had problems with like him as a candidate, and also because like the Steele dossier is the thing that starts all this, which they don't even get into any of like how it got into their hands, how it came
Yeah.
to be. They don't do any of
Well,
that stuff, which
they
is so.
do. They do. They said through public or private and like
They,
people.
they give a line to describe the thing, but they do not talk
They
about like,
admit
the substance
DNC.
of.
Yeah, but they admit the DNC paid for it. They admit that like they
Sure.
say that.
What I'm
So
saying
at
is
least
like
they're being objectively honest
I would agree with
about
you.
who paid for it. Guys say that.
But they treat that stuff, that information, as throwaway dialogue because they still
Right.
treat the piece, they still treat the dossier as if it's an important thing. So what I'm saying is I don't think that they actually believed the credibility of this. I don't. I would have a hard. It doesn't seem like
No,
in
well, no,
reality
but
that
hold
they
on.
actually did.
No, but we don't know the people.
Well,
I'm not saying they did or didn't, but I'm just saying if from what the movie is at least saying for context is that they believe that that Trump is being blackmailed by Russia. There's
yeah,
like this. There's
yeah.
this one particular line of dialogue where
I know that's how the show presents it. I'm sorry, but
well, there's this one particular line of dialogue where they have it where he says like 4 or 5 years ago, Trump was in debt or something, and like, are there?
yeah, Russian oligarchs. He borrowed money from Russian oligarchs.
And they bring it up a couple times, but if the okay, so you're a good guy, you're working for the government. You could be whatever side, it doesn't matter, but you view the now incoming, because it's really the problem is the now when he becomes the presidential candidate. If nothing really before that really matters.
Mm-hmm.
That whole episode is the build-up, which really sucks. The second episode doesn't really act on it, but I mean, they view him as an insider threat. Like that's what they view him as.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that's why Comey's taking all these notes, every phone call. But it would not shock me to learn in real life Trump doing some of those things.
100%.
Like I don't think it would, but I don't think it was like the nefarious.
That is how
like,
he talk. That's how he talks. That's how
Well,
he acts around people. Like just I'm saying, if you were to take his, it is completely based off. That's what I'm saying. It's like this fantasy version, this wish fulfillment of what they imagine, what it would be like to talk to Trump alone.
How they represent Trump is just so disingenuous, in my opinion.
I mean, based on his public persona, like those are the things that they are feeding into. Like I don't know who the audience for this is. It's not going to convince anybody that doesn't already believe this. Yeah. And then it's going to be laughed at by people that don't believe it. It's clearly was planned to be released near the election to remind everybody, to set the record straight, basically.
Yeah, but this is the problem. Is like it's already been set straight. We know that how they got to Flynn. You know,
I know that, but this is the arrogance of these people.
Dan. I know, dude. But
literally
blows my mind.
This is the hubris of these people. They think they're going to come in and tell you what really happened.
Literally, this is 2016 all over again. Is they're playing the same handbook that playbook they're playing from it, because yesterday they released Trump's tax records or whatever.
Again.
The same story. It's the same exact story from last time, but they say that he only paid $750 in taxes. That's not true. He in 2017
in income taxes.
Well,
not total taxes, and it's all because of like what he made versus what he spent and yada yada.
Because he did not get paid. He doesn't get paid from the Trump. Or you can't be getting paid by a private organization to be president.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
So 2016, 2017, his taxes show that he paid $750. but they're not showing that he actually paid, not in income, but like in liability taxes. He has to pay those 1.2 million in 2017 and fucking 4 point something million
Which
in 2018 or
this is
whatever.
actually a lot of people, because people have short memories these days, and thankfully I follow some good people on Twitter that like kind of put a timeline together. They started. This is actually a story broke in 2016 during
October.
the debates. Hillary brought it up.
It was one of
Uh,
the big October surprises.
And then it also came around again in 2018. The only difference between this one and the 2018 story, which was, I believe, the same writers, is that they didn't have the specific numbers, but the gist was exactly the same. There's also footage of Trump talking about this openly. He completely admitted it. He's like, "Yeah, I used the system. Like, I used the deductions and what I could do." It's like, why?
Anybody
Like,
who's a Trump supporter already knows that he's admitted to not doing anything illegal, just saying, I used the loopholes. There was
well, I
loopholes.
mean, where
I'm a
everybody's
business guy.
Well, the Trump supporters and even like libertarian people, they're like, "Good, you found a way not to pay less taxes. Good for
Yeah,
him. Fuck the federal government." Like,
yeah, yeah. Like, and I can sit there and go, we have a sense of duty like that is being portrayed in this film. A sense of duty. This is really what it's about. It's about a greater calling for the greater good, and we have to follow the Constitution and all this stuff. And they're talking about FISA warrants, and I'm like, yo, you guys lied. We know it now. How could
Mhm.
they put this movie out in good conscience when we know they absolutely lied on the FISA, like to
Yeah,
get the warrants to go into General Flynn
that's
and
because
go after
people,
him?
they know goddamn well that the people that are gonna like watch this are people that are gonna hate watch it and people that already agree with it, and they know that most people, and then I'm sure there's obviously people in the between, but your average person is just not gonna look into it. They're gonna be like, "Yeah, cool." Like, that is what happened. Because
Yeah, but this is so bad.
the reality of that situation still to this day gets obfuscated and buried, and it's so many layers of narrative to like strip away before you can even get to the truth of anything.
Like
And
Comey in this film comes off as like a very like ethical guy and all this stuff, and I'm like, I don't know the real James Comey.
I
I don't
just want to
know.
do the gosh darn right thing. I
Yeah,
just want to do
yeah.
the gosh darn right thing.
And his wife is like against him too, which is like funny. She's like, you
Yeah, she
can't
seems
do
great.
this to her, and you're like, what are you doing, lady? I'm like, what the fuck? And he had this whole like colon cancer thing because he's been through shit, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
He's been there. Then they like go to the Pulse nightclub shooting. Got to get some dead gays in there. We got to get them.
This is as angry as he gets in the entire 3.5 hours. I actually made a note of it. It says, well, plug it, will you? He's talking about the leaks that are coming from the office. He says, well, plug
Yeah,
it before I go rip shit.
yeah,
It really frosts me. Like,
yeah.
that's as angry as he gets.
And he comes off as very even keeled, just
Yeah.
very middle of the road,
What did you
and
think was
obviously that's intentional, but
one of my favorite lines, though, my favorite moments of the series is when he meets Obama for the first time when he's like interviewing for the job. This is some real dialogue, actual dialogue from the Comey rule. Money is nice. Stopping bad guys is better. Like, that's something from a fucking direct to video, like
no, it sounds like a porn,
fucking
like a porn.
or a direct to like streaming fucking Netflix action movie.
This movie, they should do a Mystery Science Theater 3000 for this film.
If they had any courage, they would. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Those probably guys are probably fucking libtards,
Well,
but
Bill Corbett, the guy who plays Crow, the robot Crow with
yeah,
he's
yeah,
a fucking nutty, like socialist nutty, like burn it down,
it doesn't fucking surprise me.
eat
And
cops.
yeah, there's enough to say about this film that I think it's worth a watch if you want to be entertained in multiple ways. So like if you're a Trump supporter, you can watch this
Funny as
and
fuck.
laugh, and you'll be like horrified that this is the way they view him. Because like as a Trump supporter, I sat there and I was like, I understand. Like I knew it, dude. I called it in the first episode. I'm like, they're gonna show him eating, and they're gonna be showing him eating like a pig. I knew it. I was
The
like, that's
egg
what you do with every.
the egg McMuffin delivered on a silver platter
Hey,
to the Oval Office.
yeah, you got to do it.
Well, they make and then like there's somebody in the office with them that notices it, and they're like, oh, so oh, this creature.
No, but like when he's eating the ice cream and he's like, and James is just
Yeah,
disgusted.
he's doing the same face. He's going, "Oh my god."
Yeah, you're like, look at this piggy, this little piggy eating from the trough,
I got this beast elected.
and you're just kind of Hillary lost because she didn't campaign in Michigan, she didn't campaign in all these states or whatever. I'm just over it, dude. And yeah, dude. Of course, the Russians are making bot farms because they're funny people. They
And
understand.
President Putin will send us many, many well wishes for our work.
Yeah.
That's like almost like seriously, almost verbatim how they talk. I would say
weird.
the Trump performance is like Brendan Gleeson.
They got his breathing down perfectly, though. I will say that. Yeah.
Well, because it was a thing like from the ephedrine or whatever he was taking, the Sudafed. Like always doing that when he was talking. It's like they took these little cues and then they built like a caricature of him. And then that's what they did. So it comes off, I would say, out of everybody, the Brendan Gleeson one as Trump comes off as the most Saturday Night Live.
Yeah,
like
it's caricature.
Better than Baldwin. I would say it's more closer than Baldwin's.
I don't think he caught his voice at all, honestly.
But he got the rhythm. He got the caricature rhythm. So for people that don't like Donald Trump, they go, "Oh, what an evil fuck!
But
look at this
so
evil fuck slurping
it's so
his ice cream, eating Egg McMuffins in the Oval Office. Man has no respect.
No respect on it. I just thought it was too. It just wasn't there. Like he really. It was just like I'm watching. I'm like this.
He brought like a demon quality to it because he's always like this
hunched, and he's always playing with his tie.
And he's always
he's always like looking down during important meetings, not giving a fuck. He's like, oh yeah,
yeah. Because
I'm like, he's
a big dumb idiot, everybody.
Yeah. Or he's so selfish. He's so self-involved, and like every conversation was all about him. And I'm sitting there and I'm going, I'm not saying that's not a reality.
I think that is the public persona of Trump.
Yeah, but like I just don't see anybody like sitting behind. It's like look at Obama. In front of everybody, he was cool, he was cordial, he's super nice, good voice. But in the back, he's like off with their heads. He's like, get Snowden, like get that motherfucker.
I said, kill this cracker now.
Yeah,
kill this jive-ass Russian bitch now. That's what he actually talks like. A lot of people.
I mean, it is what it is. I just sat there going, like, it's so overblown. And the Republicans, if they ran Hollywood, they would be pumping out movies against Obama all the time. Okay, like they would have been.
We would be like watching like this version of like the Nazi takeover with Obama. Yeah, 100%.
Like I think that's.
Imagine if they did like the Obama years, like the movie, like they did, or the Obama Rule. They did the Obama Rule, and it was directed by fucking Frazier. What's his name?
They already did one. It's called Obama's America, right? Whatever.
That's a documentary though.
And then the Dinesh D'Souza, Hillary Clinton's America, and then there's a new one called Trump's America. It's gonna be sick. No, but
like fucking Pepe meme, thumbs up. No, like the Brendan Gleeson thing though. Like he added like this sinister quality to it because he would get really low and guttural, which is not how Trump.
Not at all.
Be like, I expect loyalty. Like you're like, are you the demon from Spawn? What is going on here? I will kill you, Jason Wynn. Like Spawn.
It was absolutely awful. I'm not saying that's on him. It's obviously on the direction that they wanted to go. But in like that scene where he's walking out in the pageant, whatever that shit is called, Miss Universe or whatever, and he like his thick meaty palms like just touch that chick's shoulder.
Another opportunity to be used Nasty Boys by Janet Jackson. Missed.
Another one. Missed. I just can't believe that they actually thought this was. I mean, I could see it made back in 2018, and you'd be like, okay, at the time, it all made sense. But how can they, in good conscience, think this is good? Like, how is it good?
These people are animals, Dan.
What is the ratings on this thing?
It's actually not that great. Well, IMDb has it at a 6.5, so it's like mediocre. That's a mediocre one.
What about the tomatoes?
I don't know what the tomato
Uh,
meter says. What does the tomato meter says about the Comey
well, it's
rules?
only the first episode, and if that's the first episode, episode
Well,
number
no,
2 is gonna be
they
trash.
they got advanced stuff, and then by the time we watched this tonight, so
Yeah, of
you know,
course, yeah.
so there was no high digital sea writing. There was
Not at
no
all.
fucking out there on the
I never
frosty,
even
listening to
never.
Kid Rock music, just being wild. None of that. Let's see here. The Comey rule.
I bet it's like
1,000. They're
yeah,
like, normally we only do 100, but for this week it's 1,000.
yeah,
Um,
'cause-
and actually, 63%.
yeah, that's
Critics
about right.
63%. Audience is 78. I would probably personal score. So I would put it at 50 because I think it is a weird, gross, liberal piece of propaganda that is like so self-serving and smug and like kind of gross in that way, and
Yeah.
just like the idea that these people are the protectors of the fabric of the country and fucking patriots. I was a
And
little gross.
Trump is like the.
I mean,
I just
Trump could be like that, and those people still would not be the opposite. Like,
no, it's all about control. Well, like the thing is, I will no. There has to be some.
it's
It's
funny as fuck,
different.
though.
It is funny, but there is a difference from when Trump ran, and then no one thought he was going to win, and
Sure.
there was just no way in hell. And you're like, now it would be I don't even think they're on his side still. Like, I honestly don't think the intelligence agencies are on his side. But
I don't think so at all. No.
Ray,
Um,
Ray's been fucking wild.
every scene between Comey and Obama plays out like a
Oh, dude.
romance scene, like they want to fuck.
And could they have put a worse guy as Obama? The guy's awful.
He has like the voice.
It doesn't look. It
Partially.
doesn't. It's not right.
Well, they hired a little young. Okay,
Yeah, the dude's like
this
what,
time
26?
2014. Obama looking like he had aged about 20 years when by the time throughout his presidency.
Yeah.
Stressful.
Well, I mean that
Whether you
dude
like it or
probably
not.
was. That dude looked like he was in his early 30s. Like he did not look. But
Yeah.
whatever. It's a movie.
It's like a
yeah.
boy in a costume. Like he really did. Kind of look like a little boy in a costume.
Yeah.
Like, hey, let's throw some baby powder in your hair to gray it up a little
But
bit.
at least they have a conversation in the Oval Office, like where they're like, "Oh, Trump, we're gonna be careful." But at least they showed context. There was enough context there. There's
Should've
enough to
started
say
playing
that.
fucking Terminator music during that scene. They're like, we have to take him out.
Yeah.
Execute Order 66 on President Trump and his family.
It was one of those things.
Got a family
I
gym,
mean,
right?
I would give it like a 50, 60. Like I don't mind. I didn't mind the first episode, and it's like I can take all personal bias out and just say, you know what, first hour and a half was somewhat entertaining.
Yeah,
And
but
then
it's not entertaining in the way it's meant to be entertaining. Or did you find it that
I
it
mean,
worked
it was
as a
okay.
thing?
It was okay.
Dude, I was like howling. I was so I had no choice. I had to start taking screenshots. I've never done this before. I felt compelled.
I thought it was like at least the first episode was. You know what? It's not smug. It didn't feel smug in the first episode.
Ever spend much time on Facebook, Jim? Fuck, dude. I mean, like,
It
even
was just,
they even knew the reality of the Russian bots and what was going on and how much money was spent at the time that all this stuff was going on, and they act like, oh my god, and then they cut to mysterious Russians in Russia, like, You're like, okay, guys.
yeah. I mean, it's like two dudes. Like it should have been two dudes in a basement, just like shit posting. Two fucking 35-year-old dudes shit posting on fucking Yeah, but that's all this. Like people didn't understand shit posting back then. I guess like on like a major.
They still don't.
Well, I mean, like you'll see people on the left or that will start sharing like Babylon Bee articles, and you're like, dude, like, can you believe this? And it was,
because they're just the right-leaning version of the Onion. I mean, it's not the most original thing in the world. They just do the Onion for conservatives. It's the same exact.
Right, but what I'm, no, I know, but like leftists will share it as like facts, and you're like, it's kind of funny, but it's shit posting. It's just people. If anything,
Well, yeah.
Due to the previous election, people are way more wary of it now. Like they're kind of like not just gonna trust 100% everything they see. I think most people don't, but
and people,
like,
people should. Well, I don't know if that's most people, but people
Well,
should. Like people
no,
have this thing where they read headlines and then that's it. They don't actually go into an article. They don't like look into
I
things.
I would disagree. I think, and that you it's proven. It's proven that this is the reason why, like the New York Times article,
Yeah,
they lead with in the first like 3 paragraphs explaining his $750
I know.
because they know after the first 3 paragraphs,
People don't
people stop. They
stop.
get what
Yeah,
they want and they get out.
100%. Yeah,
And even in that same article, they go like 20 paragraphs down. It's like a fucking 5-6 page article. You go all the way down, they explain how he actually paid taxes because they have to.
they have
They
to.
have
Exactly. No, because
legally.
it is a drama mystery piece, and that's how they set it up. They're like, well, like these are the facts, and then they don't explain context. They don't explain tax code. They don't explain any of that stuff. They're like, but these are the facts.
Yeah, but that's the
This
problem though.
It's a lot
you know?
like the Comey rule. They're like, here are the facts.
Well, it's like statistically proven that by October, the October surprises really don't have effect on elections anymore. Like they're really not that. Like it would have to be something explosively like big.
Dude, remember when we stayed up all night to see the WikiLeaks do something and then didn't do anything?
Yeah,
That was because we were waiting for that October surprise.
Yep. And it didn't happen. But now, I think if Trump does lose, I bet he pardons Snowden, pardons Julian Assange, and fucking rides off into the sunset. Just see ya.
That would be baller. Although he might try to run again in 2024 then. So
he's gonna be too old, dude.
No.
Yeah, dude, he's 77 right now.
Got some of that
78.
Sudafed. No, he's not. Is he?
Yeah, dude, he's 77 right now.
Hold on.
There's no way.
Trump's
Yeah,
age.
He's definitely 77.
74.
Nuh-uh.
So he could run again at 78, which he'll be around the same age Joe Biden is.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen, dude.
He's gonna be like, And I'm telling you, by that time, 4 years from now, Dan, I got plenty of time to get involved with the campaign. Janet Jackson, Nasty Boys.
Every show.
Every single time he comes out like this.
I don't think he would run again. I don't think he would run again. I think Donald Trump Jr., Ivanka Trump, like, they would have a real shot. And
Nikki Haley's running.
Yeah, Nikki Haley, I don't really respect a lot of her policy.
I know, I'm not a fan of her either, but I'm just saying that is who. That's the future of the party, probably.
That's who they really are going to push, but she's not going to be able to withstand it, I don't think, personally.
Also, probably couldn't use Janet Jackson's Nasty Boys. So
I honestly don't want politicians to run anymore. Like, I don't want.
So just
I want outsiders.
Exclusively game show hosts.
I just want outsiders. I want people who are fresh and who haven't been beat down by the system. And Nikki Haley did some good stuff at the UN and everything, but
I'm talking guys like Drew Carey, Wink Martindale, Alex Trebek,
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk, he could run some. Is he? Well, he's a U.S. citizen, right? Or he's born in the United States, right?
Yeah. And not to mention Project Veritas. Fuck yeah.
Oh, the ballot. Yeah. The ballot. What do you call it? Harvesting. Apparently, it's not illegal in the state that they're doing it, though.
Yes, it is.
I was reading
up to 3 people. One person can harvest up to 3 ballots.
Okay.
So it's legal, but the dude had hundreds.
I know that dude. My car is full.
Yeah.
all the only thing that matters is money, and you're like,
if this is America, if you ain't got money, get out. Like you're like,
hey. And then why are you supporting Ilhan Omar, dude? Like you're supporting the wrong candidate. That's a Trump voter right there. Maybe he's on the right side of history, Dan. Yeah. And you're besmirching this man. And James O'Keefe is seriously fucked up because this is a Trump guy.
Yeah. It's just I do think that it's the draining the swamp is something you can't do in one term. I think it's gonna have to be decades. It's gonna take decades of work.
I'm looking forward to the constitutional amendment. I'm looking forward to him just declaring himself a king, and just being there until he dies, and then Barron will take over. Don Jr. Barron is literally going to kill Don, and the other one that nobody cares about, Eric.
There's Eric and
Ivanka is going to actually be the one that runs the country, but Barron's going to be the face because he's like 7 foot tall.
I think Ivanka could win. I think Ivanka could.
I don't. Really? You think so?
She's fucking hot.
Well,
And
you know,
that
she could pull off Janet Jackson's Nasty Boys.
probably. Dude, could you imagine, dude? You ever seen a picture of her in a bikini, bro? Wow.
I know Trump has, but
Oh, fucking probably, dude. Fucking God bless him. You
she
know.
wasn't my daughter.
Yeah, no, I don't know, dude. I just I don't know. I don't know. I just know the Comey rule had plenty of spicy content for the liberals out there, but it's like a movie you can watch and laugh because it's so ridiculous.
If
It's
you know,
also like,
if you
you know,
actually know what happened and what the
yeah,
fallout is, like it is really funny that it's just like, guys,
it's
like
a
you know
family
this.
film.
I mean, but we also know that they knew these things at the time. That's what came out, is like how long they actually knew the reality of the situation, and then they present a story in which they didn't know.
Well,
Which
this
seems
movie, this was obviously Sean. This is a 3.5 hour film. This was probably made fucking 2018. This was probably
no,
filmed in
this was
2018.
probably filmed. You know what? I guarantee you, this was filmed this year.
Look up production time. No, because all that
No, it
stuff
was.
just came out. Yeah, but
Yeah,
all that stuff just came out in the
the
last 6 months.
yeah, but the photos and stuff for it, yeah, have only been around for a couple months.
What photos? What do you mean
I mean,
photos?
I'm saying like showing like Jeff Daniels as Jim Comey and Brendan
No,
Gleeson.
no. I know. But that's too late. They already invested X millions of dollars into this movie. Like they're not just gonna pull it.
This is low budget.
How much?
Um,
Oh, so you're telling me all these liberal Hollywood people did it out of the goodness of their hearts?
yeah, this is seriously, this is their hashtag resistance. Like this is what this is for them. When was this filmed? It just says 2020. It's the only thing I can find. No, but this was. I mean, it's a TV production, Dan. Like it's probably was done this year, probably right before COVID.
But then again, though, all that information just came out in the last like 6 months about.
Well,
Comey
no.
and
Well,
the
yes,
Biden
yes. Right,
stuff
you're right.
and like,
The public knowledge of what actually
yeah.
happened. But yes, you're right. But to release this makes you just look like a fucking asshole. Like just makes you like a jerk off. Like
if
you're
you
like,
know if you know of the actual
well,
history.
exactly. And that's I think they're hoping that people don't. They're hoping, whatever. And I know they don't even care. They're just like, oh, we fucking did it, guys. We nailed this fucker, this pig.
You think Trump watched it? I bet he did.
Oh.
I bet he did. I think he did. Dude, Trump shits on himself all the time. That dude would watch this.
Would he watch it? I mean, maybe.
I think he would. Yes, he would. And guess what he's going to do? He's going to come out. He's going to, I watched it. And it's lies. It's bullshit. Yeah.
Fake news.
Yeah.
Sorry. Trying to give the Brendan Gleeson performance. It was fake news. It was fake.
He really did. It was like I knew when I was like they're gonna show Trump eating just to like I knew it. It was like my gut instinct. I'm like they're gonna show you every big villain. They always eat. Like that's like a like they're little piggies in a trough. Like this is how villains are in every movie. You can name any movie except the Joker and The Dark Knight. It's the only one I've ever seen where the villain doesn't eat.
That's maybe true.
Like it's a common thing. Any
because we just associate that with being a pig. So like culturally and like even our sense memory as a culture, we're just like, oh, that means you're gross. That just means you're gross. Same thing if you see like a lot of like, bad guys in the 80s and 90s, like sweaty, hairy, baboon looking dudes, right?
Yeah.
Guys like me. I could have been a great heavy back in the 80s and 90s, Maybe I could still probably do it today too,
Why not?
Bring it back. I could be like a Tony Soprano type, I'm the villain, but I'm actually also the protagonist at the same time.
Which go check out the Mafia Definitive Edition. Not bad.
Actually, yeah, I'm actually enjoying it. I've only got to play like an hour, but
well, wait until you get to the race car part.
Well, I'm sure that has not aged well.
Oh my god.
Well, that's like when I was trying to do the taxi stuff, and it's like 2.5 minutes, and like the car physics in the Mafia series are all...
No, what they're supposed to be because they're old cars. That's part of the design, obviously.
I can suspend my disbelief, guys. You can just make this control like
a Corvette in 2020.
Yeah.
Help me out. Because but you're in this souped up car and you have to do this race thing, and I'm like, dude, the only time I beat it is when I actually sat up. Like I had to sit up and like lean in, and really get focused because you have to be fucking perfect on that shit.
Mm-hmm.
It was like 6 times in a row, and I was like, fuck. And that's like 8 minutes every time.
Well, I'm really enjoying it because it's the only one in the series I have never played, so it's actually a new game for me. So that's cool.
Yeah, I've never played. I played Mafia 3. Sucked. It was boring.
Mafia 3 is like, I like parts of Mafia 3. I like that it's a sequel to 2. I like that Michael is back in it. But yeah, it's just tedious, right?
Yeah.
Not enough variety in those missions. Like
Yeah.
Dan and I are guys that like tedious fucking podcast games, we call them.
Yeah.
Or
Yep.
watch a movie games.
Or I never watch movies. I always do political and social commentary and
Yeah,
podcasts.
I do, yeah, exactly. A lot of podcasts. Over the past few months, I was like, I need a fucking break. So I found a way to put my laptop where the eye line of the laptop and the TV are at the same time without making me go cross-eyed. I figured it out, folks. I watched the entire series of Kolchak the Night Stalker over the summer, like when I was sick with COVID, playing the Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah, it was a fucking way to do it.
That's a great game.
That's another game it's really fun, tedious, but the right kind.
But at least it was like it wasn't so tedious. It was entertaining. The combat was entertaining enough to.
Yeah, no, because I think the missions of the actual game are good enough that like all the extra stuff, you never feel really bogged down too much, and all the extra stuff is so slight, it's so easy to do, it's so quick.
Yeah.
It's not like you're investing tons of time doing the shrines and stuff. Like it's usually like 10 minutes.
Yeah. Especially if you turn it on super easy.
And then, it's one of those things like right before you go to bed or whatever, you're just like, oh, fucking maybe I'll hit up a couple shrines. I don't need to do a mission or whatever. I'll go get some fox shrines or something.
It's a beautiful thing. Beautiful.
I love the look of the game. It's a gorgeous looking game. I love the vistas. Every once in a while, I'll just sit there and
I'm gonna tell you right now, dude, if Cyberpunk sucks,
we burn it down.
Throwing the PlayStation out. Tossing it into the street.
You guys want a reason to go out there and burn some shit down? If Cyberpunk 2077 sucks, we riot, boys.
Yeah.
We get out there and we riot.
There's a reason. There is a reason to
What do you think the chances are? I think, you know what? I mean, I have faith in CD Projekt Red. I do. I love the fact that they're like, oh, we made it shorter because nobody finished Witcher 3. Not enough people, not a percentage of people finished Witcher 3. And I was just like, but when they said what the actual like time for the campaign was, it's still like 50 hours. So I was like,
yeah, but that doesn't include all the extracurriculars. So
I guess was the campaign for Witcher 3 longer than 50 hours?
Yeah,
I mean, it's a long game. But I never cared. I literally played it for 200 hours my first playthrough because I did everything.
Yeah, I know the feeling. I know the feeling on that one. I've probably plugged a good 500 plus out of that game.
I've probably cashed like a good 100 hours into Ghost of Tsushima. I mean, like I almost have 100% of that game. Close to it.
Dragon Age Inquisition, 120 hours. Let's go. You ain't got shit. And I'm not even 40% through the game. That game is long as dog.
Did you get the Game of the Year edition with all the
it is long. Dude, I haven't even got through the main story yet.
No, I know. I think some of the add-on stuff is integrated into the regular
I have no idea, dude. It is so in-depth. But, hey, I know we're doing the Comey rule, but if you guys are looking for end of quarantine, long, tedious games, those are some. Give it a shout-out. Go do it. Cyberpunk 2077. It's going to happen.
So what would you say, Dan? Like, who is, like, out of everybody, this is maybe a good way, who was your favorite, like, performance? Good, bad? Like, whether it was because you thought it was a good performance or you just, like, had fun watching it?
I honestly can't even think of anyone that sticks. I guess Rosenstein guy was okay.
Scoot McNairy.
That was all right. Actually, you know who it was? The guy who played Jeff Sessions. That guy.
Oh, Joe Latrulio, he's a comedian, and he's he's from the state. He was in Superbad. People would know him. He's the guy that like they meet at the bus stop or they hit with a car, and he takes them to the party. That's Joe Latrulio. I think my favorite performance is either Lisa Page or Jeff Daniels. We made a joke about Air Bud earlier, like Jeff Daniels basing his performance off of Air Bud the Golden Retriever. Like that's not even that far of a stretch. Like, cause he's just like, huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
Send it.
Yeah.
Send it. Whatever he said.
What did he say? Tell me more. Is that what they say? They use a phrase over and over again. They're like,
tell me more now. I think.
Tell me more now. Like,
something like that.
like it's like a catchphrase they use in the office. Like,
Yeah,
like go fuck yourselves, guys. You
yeah,
fucking spooks. Get the
yeah,
fuck out of here, like with your spook propaganda. Nobody
yeah.
has time for this. The American people are not fooled.
I mean, I honestly, the Jeff Sessions performance was probably the best though, because he got his voice down like great.
Oh, yes, I would say actually, yeah. Bill Sadler as Michael Flynn. That was a funny performance. It felt like a Mr. Magoo performance. Or he's
Yeah.
like he's like fucking like. You remember in the beginning when the first time you see Michael Flynn and he's in the Russian like embassy or whatever, and he's just like, oh, like, oh, like like a brain damaged guy. Like you're just like, what the fuck is going on? This is out of control. This is
Heard
madness.
you don't like Obama. I didn't like him either. Like, oh. Guys, it was so slimy. Honestly, this whole movie's slimy as fuck. It's slimy.
Oh.
It's just greasy.
The guy they got to play fucking Peter Strzok. They hired like an actual handsome dude, not some sniveling rat looking dude. They didn't even try to get somebody that looked like him. This is the guy actually, I think he's from Rescue Me, that show with what the fuck is his name?
Willem Dafoe. I'm just kidding.
The guy, Dennis Leary, who
Dennis
kind of
Leary.
looks like Willem Dafoe as they get older.
A better looking Willem Dafoe.
Like a more filled out, less gaunt looking Willem, like skeletal, less goblin-esque.
Willem Dafoe is definitely a better actor.
Dennis Leary, obviously a famous comedian who sang the song "Asshole" about 30 years ago. Yeah, that guy cracked me up.
I mean, most of the performances were very middle of the road.
No, it's TV show performances, which I think they must have shot this very quickly. Like probably
Dude, if
within
they had Aaron Sorkin from fucking The West Wing write this fucking shit.
This is just bad Aaron Sorkin, Dan. This is like Aaron Sorkin is insufferable enough on his own, but this is like the bad version, the discount.
I'll tell you this, but Aaron Sorkin at least can bring human. It's like human. It's like there's a human element to it. It's a little.
You're a sappy motherfucker. That's what you are.
It's fun. It's fun though. Like like he brings it in, and there's good side characters. You grow to love them.
I can only imagine, Dan, if marijuana was legal in Alabama, I can just see you like ripping a bong and be like, ugh. Fuck, dude. Fuck this. Fuck, dude. Yes.
Dude, that was me, Mr. President. Yes, that was me and Shazam, dude. Fucking Shazam got me.
Like, imagine if you were in the headspace now because you're like a politically heightened right now because of the campaign, and you were ripping bongs, fucking like watching Tim Pool and the Comey rule.
Yeah.
That's what I'd be doing.
If I
lived in a place where that could happen, that's exactly what I would be doing.
I mean, I will tell you, it's going to be very possible. I like edibles. I don't like smoking, so.
Yes, I'm with Dan on this. I'm not a big smoker.
I hate it. It makes me feel funky.
But for the visual joke, you got to have the dude ripping.
Yeah, you gotta have the
pulling
bomb.
that fucking shit up.
There's a law getting passed, and I was talking to our cousin, and he works for the VA, and he was telling me that by 2022, medicinal marijuana is going to be good to go in the VA.
I'm gonna have to hurt my back.
Well, I already get it. Get it.
Oh, that's because you're the
disorder, dude.
The VA don't care about you guys. Whatever, dude. You got your own.
Yeah. I get it for free though, But Alabama made it. It's $120 for a month's supply or 2 months. It's like 2 months supply, but you get 70 milligrams a day.
Is that a lot? I don't even know.
Yeah, that's a good bit, dude.
So
you'll be all right.
What are you doing?
Huh?
You can do this now?
No, it's not official yet, but it'll be probably after this election. You're going to be able to go get the pill form. And it's pills. It comes in like pill forms, and it's up to 70 milligrams per day you can get.
See, I feel like we're going down a dangerous road of like addiction. You're like, oh, just put it in a fucking pill.
Yeah, well, I mean, because they have to.
At that point, it becomes a painkiller. Like,
well, no, it doesn't.
Well, dude, what's the difference between taking a shit ton of fucking THC and like Oxycontin?
A huge difference.
Is there?
A huge difference. Yeah, dude.
If you're so high, you can't get up off the floor.
No, dude, listen, you're not going to get 70 milligrams will fucking get you high. I promise you that. But like
Janet
you're high.
But you're high?
Yeah, not that high. Not that quite.
Fuck.
Yeah, that's a 500 milligram. I've done it.
Oh, like a star of death, like or whatever.
Like, dude, I've done 500 milligrams. That shit will fucking end your life. Like, you are fucking in another dimension. But 70 is literally enough to go. I'm fucking fucked up. Like, you're fucked up. It's
Dude.
like taking a 12-pack and doing it in like half hour.
Dude, imagine how much fun you would have had with the Comey rule if you were high as fuck.
Dude, I might have to save it for that.
I mean, imagine how fun you would have on election night if you were a little high.
Oh, that'd be great.
And you're just like going like this all the time.
Yeah.
Like the James Brown.
I mean, I think it's something I'm excited for. I hope they pass after this election, and it'll go and we'll be good. And then it's past the.
Well, that's the problem. Like, I wish Trump had made it an issue for this election. I wish he had made it an issue because when Joe Biden says like, "Well, for legalizing it," he should have been like, "Yeah, dude, and guess what, buddy? I'm doing it right now. Take it off the table. Boom, done."
Yeah. I mean, he could probably decriminalize it.
Or he could have it all set and ready to go and say, "Listen, I'm going to need a little bit more time. I'm going to grease a couple more wheels." I get rid of Jeff Sessions' Keebler Elf, who was trying to gatekeep. I got rid of him. Path is clear.
I think it's one of those things that it's going to be legal by 2030 for sure everywhere.
That's too long, Dan. I want to do it while I'm young.
What do you mean? Dude, you'll just get high when you're old and you'll be fine.
No, it won't be cool then. It won't be cool. Like, will I still be wearing a Misfits t-shirt at 43? Probably.
Yes.
Probably.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yes. But like, that's the thing, it's like weed's just going to be, you go down to your local dispensary, like how it was in Oregon. Go down to your local dispensary, you pull out fucking $40, you walk up, what that fucking, you drive your ass home, and you fucking, like, this shit was a Dabinol was my favorite, dude.
You turn into a minion when you go to the store?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, dude, I can't tell you the sweet, like, what I would do every night. It was like, every night. I didn't like doing it during the day, because during the day was... I just didn't like it. I didn't enjoy it.
I feel the same way. It's like day drinking. You're just like,
yeah. No, I mean, like, if you're going for like a walk, it can be nice. But if you're sitting there like high during the day, there's something about in the night when the night comes and like you can really turn down the lights down low, put on a fucking movie, and just get a little stoned. And I have back pain. I just do. And dude, the fucking the relief. Like, dude, you're like. You can't feel any pain, and maybe it is like a pain reliever, but it's just gone. Like
it's used as a pain management tool for medicinal marijuana. Like that's why they give it to people with cancer and stuff because it just alleviates your pain.
But like if you're telling me I'm an American and I can't pop some fucking 50 milligrams, because dude, I'm telling you, Sean, I would literally do this. I had a 500 milligram bottle. Those were like $35-$40. I'd buy 2 of them. It would last me like a while. But all I would do, and I'm dead serious, I would just take a swig. That was probably like, and I'm not talking a gulp, like a little, like 2 tablespoons. And I was like fucking gone. Like I would be sitting on the couch being like Shazam again and again. I would have to re-up probably like at the end of Shazam. And then like 20 minutes of watching YouTube, I'm like, I gotta do it again. Gotta watch Shazam again. It just made me feel good inside. It just made me feel great. Family film, dude. Shazam. It's my movie of 2019. Okay, that was my movie.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you get high,
I bought it twice. I bought it twice.
You bought it twice?
Because I was so fucking high on Amazon Prime. I wanted the special features. And I thought I was just buying the special features because I was that high, and I bought it again. And I was like, why would you not sell the special features separate, Amazon?
Oh, no, it should just come with it. Would you rent it and then buy it?
No, I bought the fucking regular edition, and I saw the special features, and I was like, oh, hell yeah. And I hit enter. I was like, yeah, I just ripped through, and then next thing I know.
Yeah, Amazon got me one time. Like, I was going to get a digital copy of a movie. I owned it on disc, but I wanted to just watch it on my laptop. I don't have a disc drive on my laptop. So I was like, all right, well, I get this digital. I'll buy it off of Amazon. And I didn't realize that like it was the wrong version of the movie. But because of my laptop, like the button stuck, so it hit buy and play at the same time. And once I started playing it, I couldn't return it. Because you can, if you just have it in your library, you can fucking turn it back in and get your money back. Because I've done that before. Because I've like impulsively or like, I'm drunk at night. I'm like, I'm gonna buy this comic book. I'm gonna like, I've done that before with digital products. But
Yeah.
as long as you don't like really open them, you can return them. I'll tell you this though, Audible, dude, I've listened to entire fucking audiobooks and then just be like, nah, I didn't like it. Problem with the narrator. Get my credit back.
Nah.
I'm not even shitting you. The only one they didn't let me do it with was Dune. Because I had listened to 12 hours of Dune and they're like, no, buddy. You've also had this for a year. Like,
Yeah, they're
no.
like, come on, come on. But I guess if it's probably within 30 days, I think it's a 30-day money back guarantee. Like if you have a problem or something.
Dude, and you can you can listen to all of it. I mean, it's
I'm
cool.
surprised. I'm
You know,
surprised that after like, okay, you hit 50% of the book.
yeah,
Like
you would think it'd be something like that. Like Steam has a thing now where it's like if you play less than 2 or 3 hours, you could just
you
return
can
it
return,
full refund.
which they
Because
fucking thank God they
well,
did that.
because they're like, people made the argument, and I think they made the honest argument. It's like, well, I need a demo. Like, people don't put out demos of their games anymore. Like,
And also,
the only
they're
thing you
so
can really
fucking
do.
buggy now, and the lies that they tell, like Blizzard, like what they did with their shit, with their like Warcraft 3 or whatever they did. It was supposed to be all these updated like graphics, and it was just like a fucking port.
Oh, when they did the
Whatever.
shitty port of it, yeah.
Yeah. So like, I mean, like if they're not being, I think Steam did the right thing, and then because
Well,
that's how it should be.
no, it should be like that. I think Good Old Games, which is something I always recommend to people if you're a PC gamer, Good Old Games is a great resource. If you can buy something on Good Old Games instead of Steam, I would always go to Good Old Games. They're just it's actually they're co-owned by CD Projekt Red actually. And they're a great service. And they will always it's really easy to get refunds. It's all DRM free, which means I could literally put my shit on a thumb drive and give it to you. Like it's not locked to an account. It's not whatever. Like you can just go get it and just
Yeah.
Because actually a lot of people don't know. Little side tangent, little trivia for you. CD Projekt Red actually started as a bootlegger of PC games back in the early '90s.
That's awesome.
That's how that company started because they weren't released out there, so they would have to make illegal copies and sell them. That's how that company started. So that's just a little cool piece of trivia for you.
So Cyberpunk, 1990.
Pretty much, they were cyber as fuck back then, dude.
Yeah, yeah, man. It's like Tron. Do you know what Tron? Do you know why they named the movie Tron?
Why?
Do you know why?
Do I know why?
Could you guess why they call it Tron?
I
Can
probably
you guess.
Well, because that's the name of the master program or something.
No. Well, come on. No. Why? Do you know what the actual reason was? Electronic. They just took. I swear to God, that's why they did. They go, well, the electronic, right? That's pretty good. Tron. That's cool. It's like Tor.
Hey,
Tor,
Tron's
Tor.
a cool ass name. It's better. The name is better than either of the movies. So
Yeah.
which but let me tell you something. Everybody. If I had access to edibles, I'd probably fucking love Tron.
Dude,
straight up. I would probably love Tron.
There's something about oh my God, dude. I'm gonna do a trip. We'll be all right. We'll do a trip.
Okay. Well, we'll just leave it at that then. Yeah. So the Comey rule. Any closing thoughts on the Comey rule, Dan?
Don't watch it. But if you're a Trump supporter and you're informed, watch it. And if you're a liberal, watch it and then get informed after and be shocked by how much they left out and or decided to leave out.
Well, for me, it's not even that they recontextualize things on purpose to frame it a different way. And I think so. It's like these are the facts, but they don't tell you how those facts come to an existence, why those facts.
Which you're not going to be able to do in a 3.5-hour thing anyway.
No, I agree with you, but I do think it is there. They do it that way to be manipulative. I don't think it's a matter of adaptation. And I think it's what they choose to do with certain things because they just know the public consciousness is high on certain elements. The public consciousness is high on the piss tape. So that is constantly brought up. It's just there to be a cudgel. The public consciousness knows that Trump eats 2 scoops of ice cream, so it's in the movie. He eats McDonald's, so it's in the movie. He sniffs when he talks, so it's in the movie. It's that kind of obnoxious.
You know what Chris Hayes just said?
What did Chris Hayes just say?
Everyone has 2016 PTSD. And I think there's still reason to think polls have some systematic problems reaching low trust voters. But right now, it's really hard to come to any conclusion other than Trump is losing badly. Like, this is the same dudes who told you Hillary Clinton was going to win in a landslide victory.
Sure.
Like, and I'm just like, you know what, dude? The Comey rule, if anything, will gain a couple points, I think.
People are going to be so turned off by how fucking smug and self-righteous it is. They're going to be like, "Ah, fuck these people."
I don't think they will, but
that would be my takeaway. It was just so fucking smug and self-righteous and just like so, and I find it so obnoxious. I really do. Like it is like this. All of these people are saints, guys.
You know who should have been?
Everybody involved looking into this stuff. They are so above board. They need to be put into the church somehow as saints.
Yeah,
canonized.
I'll tell you this much: they fucked up hiring Jeff Daniels because it should have been Kevin Costner. If they would have had Kevin Costner as James Comey, this movie would have been a smash. Smash.
You would have fucking killed it.
Can you imagine? Kevin Costner could have played James Comey, and he went golfing a lot, and then all of a sudden, he ends up winning the regional FBI golf tournament in the middle of all this. It
turns into Tin Cup.
That's Kevin Costner, right?
What, the golf guy, Tin Cup? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, Kevin Costner, he could have played Trump. You know, trivia said that Jeff Daniels said he would play Trump if nobody else would. If nobody else would step up to the plate.
What an honorable man.
He's a lot like James Rutherford Comey.
Integrity. Ethics.
Due to the real James Comey's distinctively tall height of 6'8". Jesus, that is tall.
Is that how tall he is?
Yeah. 6'8".
Wow. What a giant.
This guy should be playing basketball.
He played football, probably.
Jeff Daniels wore 2-inch lifts in his shoes to increase his on-screen stature from 6'3" to 6'5". He admitted that even while wearing the lifts, Comey towered over him when he visited the set.
Oh, Comey visited. Now, there is your propaganda. So tell me how the conversation went really, Trump. Well, let me tell you. I can't stand this movie. Listen, don't waste your money.
Okay. This was a little interesting. Like, I did not look at this trivia before we started talking, so that's my bad. At one point, the film was scheduled by Showtime to premiere after the 2020 presidential election. Jeff Daniels threatened to refuse promotion of the movie if that was the case, stating that the decision was a slap in the face to the cast and crew that had worked hard in order to get the film completed before the election. It was ultimately scheduled to premiere on September 27th, 2020. So that just shows you right there. It just validates what I said earlier. They are that fucking arrogant.
Well, it's not arrogance.
No, that's fucking hubris.
No, I could say it's hubris. Hubris and arrogance, right? Those are two separate things. So tell me if I'm wrong.
Well, they're kind of synonyms in a certain.
Yeah. But like hubris is like, I have this. I guess you could call it arrogance.
Overconfidence, arrogance.
Yeah, whatever, right? Like the hubris. I think that's maybe fair, but I think it's more they really view Trump as like Hitler. Like they think he's Hitler. They believe it.
No, this
Sean,
is
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson came out and supported Joe Biden, who wrote the 1994 national crime bill. He fucking goddamn Kamala Harris, who put fucking blacks and other minorities in fucking prison, and then wouldn't let them out so that you can use them as free slave labor to fight fires.
I know.
Holy shit! And Trump gives money to historically black colleges and universities. I don't know, man. Who you
just saying? One person who loves minorities, the other people do not.
I'm just saying, and is basically being loved by minorities. This is like Chris Hayes and like these guys. Like I follow them on Twitter, and I usually I'm just posting pictures of Trump in a king, and I just start posting it. I just post it like 50 times, over and over and over again. I just post it. All on the same thing.
They'll just block you.
Nah, they don't block me, right, dude. They see my name. They know. Say Zubox. It's a respected media outlet. We need to.
Zubox News, dude.
Yeah.
All the time I go up to people. I say, "Hey, Sean Deegan from Zubox News. Just wanted to ask you a quick question."
We should do that more.
Yeah.
You should.
We should do
start
man
on.
on the street interviews. Just assault people with our phones and be like,
I want to
"Hey,
do it like,
Dan Deegan from Zoobox News, and I just want to ask you a question. Who are you voting for this election?"
yeah. I want to
Oh,
do it
you
like Ryan
dummy!
Long. Do you know Ryan Long? I like Ryan Long, the comedian.
I think so.
When
I
he
don't
did
know.
like the woke dude versus the racist dude, and how they're like exactly the same.
Oh, yes, yes.
That dude, he did one where he comes up and he goes like, listen, how do you feel about transgender people? And it's like a guy in New York City, and the dude's like, oh, it's fine, like whatever, like you do your thing, babe, yeah, whatever. I would fully support LGBTQ plus IAAA kin, and and then he just goes, well, yeah, like, well, my daughter, well, I think it's a boy that wants to transition and all this stuff, and it comes to find out that like it's his like 3-month-old baby. He's like, he's always crying, he's always complaining, he's always hungry. I was like, he must be telling me something, right? Brian wants to be a woman. And like,
Oh, yeah.
and the dude was like kind of confused. It was beautiful. It's a great minute. It really is. Ryan Long on YouTube. Go subscribe. He's funny. It's funny shit. He is perfectly explaining like uh, the modern media establishment, like, and how they act, and like with the left and everything, and then just how people interact every day. He's that counter narrative. I
Mm-hmm.
like it.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny to me.
I just like people that are equal opportunity offenders. I think, as far as comedy goes, like, funny is funny. It doesn't
It
really
used
matter to me where
Dave Chappelle used to be that way. I don't know.
dude, I don't know what, like,
I think he's gone, dude.
I mean, this was probably my favorite living comedian for most of my adult life.
I would agree to that.
Most of actually growing up as a teenager as well.
And
And
Rob
I
Williams.
just so smart, so thoughtful, and then just start becoming a Kool-Aid drinking asshole. It seems very weird. It
I
just
don't
seems
think he's
weird
gotten
and
that far,
opportunistic.
but
I think it shows you that he is finally actually out of touch. And he just reflexively acts based on like some of the communities that he's involved in. He's actually now is 100%. He's just an out of touch rich guy,
well,
which
we don't
makes
know
sense.
that. But we don't know.
Well, Dan, I don't know if there's a way to escape that. There's
No,
just
but
no
like
way
his
around it.
response to the George Floyd shooting was,
It was
not necessarily.
unhinged.
It was not unhinged, but there was definitely.
We're gonna
Listen,
take to the streets and rat a tat 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 tat. That's how that show ends.
I know.
What I'm saying is, he gives a whole screed about how why should I speak out about this? Why should I like blend my voices? I don't even know what the fuck happened. Blah blah blah, and then just does it. And then does the thing that he thought was stupid because a week went by, and you're like, okay,
Well,
all right,
maybe
dude.
it was important, but he's got his. I think it's right to get your opinion out there, and just because you're, and I understand what
I
he
don't.
was saying,
I
but
don't
like,
think. I don't
but
think
if
you're not entitled to your opinion. But when you posit your opinion as like the voice of a philosopher king, which he often does, because his last few comedy specials, especially the one that was like the intimate one that was inside the club,
mm-hmm.
and he talks about the pimp, that book. Oh, what the fuck's the name of that book? Slim. Eluding me at the moment. Half of it's a stand-up thing. Half of it's a fucking seminar.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. Well, he did the same thing in another one because then he talks about the kid who got hanged, who got lynched.
There was no kid that got lynched.
But not recently. No, I'm talking like
Oh,
this
you talking about Emmett Till?
Emmett Till.
Yeah.
He gives like a dissertation about Emmett Till,
Yeah.
and you're like, this is what I'm saying. Like, he posits himself as like just as much of like a philosopher as a comedian, whether he intends to or not. That is the effect. And
I mean, I think that's what kind of brings, like, to me, even with him, or it's his ability to connect, and he's a decent orator, and he's a good rip.
he's an amazing
So,
speaker.
yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of hard when you come from these areas that are, I don't want to use the word downtrodden, but yeah, downtrodden, and not very, like, he's not like a privileged dude like LeBron James, who came from like a, or like Kevin Hart. Like, you don't hear Kevin Hart talking about this stuff. I respect Kevin Hart's work ethic and what he brings to the table. Maybe not as a comedian, but as a person.
Yeah, but Dave Chappelle's been fucking very wealthy since he was like 21.
I mean,
It's not like he lived a long time in the school of hard knocks. That's just not the
well,
reality, dude.
that doesn't matter.
No, I'm
He
not
still
saying that your
grew up in
childhood
it.
doesn't have an effect on you. Of course it does.
Yeah,
But he
but like,
also had
what's
parents and shit that like drove him to comedy clubs. Like he
yeah.
was not some sort of fucking out there wild and fucking
No, but like
weird
he still
soul.
saw the effects of his community. He still lived and grew up in it. Like he didn't grow up in like, going to the best basketball school in the
Okay.
country and having like high income two earning
Did
parents.
his mama sell crack on the streets?
Probably. But
Oh,
I think it was one of those things where like, there's a lot of pain going around. There's a
of
lot of
course there
pain and
is.
like you have to sit there and go like he has the right to feel pain.
I
And
don't.
I don't
Listen.
hold him to some higher standard,
I don't
But
disagree with in the sense that like, can a person express those opinions? Can a person feel that? Of course not. But like, it does not really like. It disappoints me, and whatever. I'm sure there are people that, oh, whatever, you stupid fucking white guy. Like, whatever. It disappoints me when there is somebody, like I said, that is so thoughtful, that is so smart, get
yeah.
taken in by a narrative. That is my point.
Well,
Like
the thing is, when that thing was
Dave Chappelle has actually a voice that matters to people because
it does.
it touches you on a very like base human level. Even when he's talking about like just his stand-up routines in general. Granted, I didn't grow up in the hood. I didn't grow up in that kind of stuff, but like he can connect with you on a human level and make you understand a principle or a point. That's why I would say like he is, out of all the comedians that like to claim the importance of the medium, Dave Chappelle is somebody that actually executes on the importance of the medium, about holding a mirror up to society and bringing and using it as a tool to bring people together. Even that first Netflix special when he came back and he's talking about like gun control and all that kind of stuff, right? Even just
Well,
things like that.
I think it's completely reasonable to me that he's been hanging around with people like Killer Mike and like which I don't necessarily agree with
The
everything on
Honorable
Killer Mike.
Louis Farrakhan.
Yeah, like there's definitely this movement of black supremacy and that is growing in America. And I'm not saying but there is something else going on. It's like Ice Cube, or like these elite black entertainers and athletes
Yeah, they've
and
all become like
but
fucking
like someone like
weirdos.
yeah, but these things happen, and they happen, and I think you'll see some people grow out of it. Um, the manipulation of history and the rewriting of history, and it's like
All I'm saying
I
is so much for Are We There Yet 3. You know what I mean?
I mean that's what I was looking forward to. 2021, are we there? Yeah,
No,
whatever.
I know what you mean, man. I know what you're
But
saying. Like,
it's something that it can just happen to people. It just happens, and they feel responsible. He probably feels responsible in some weird meta way,
no,
because he's like a meta thinker.
yeah, because people tell him that he's a leader of a community, whether
Yes,
he is or isn't,
exactly.
because he's a celebrity.
Exactly. And
That,
I think that's
but
really the bigger
no, but
point.
that's the cognitive dissonance between Dave Chappelle saying "fuck you" to Don Lemon for saying that, and then actually just doing it.
Yeah. But
That's what I'm saying. I know
I thought
he rationalizes it and he makes a justification. He does it in the special, the 33-minute one, or however long it is.
it says like 8 minutes, 46 seconds. That's what they
And it's like
titled it.
it wasn't like a half hour long.
Yeah, it's something like 20, 25 minutes, something like yeah.
And like, but I don't think it's like bad satire. It's like when you're like, yeah, I understand you're criticizing the thing, but you still are doing the thing that you're criticizing because you have to. It's like when you watch a horror movie that's meta, and the horror movie is like, we're gonna send up found footage movies. We're gonna attack all the tropes. But then at some point, you have to be a good found footage movie. And if you're not, then you've discredited all of your commentary about found footage movies.
I would have to go back and watch 846 again, but I don't remember ever like I know he said some controversial things, but
Well, I just thought it was it was very oddly militant for Dave Chappelle. But I do think he has taken that more of a militant turn in the past few years.
I think a lot of
he's gotten caught up in some of these communities.
The Comey rule.
Well, I think he's involved with the Muslim Brotherhood and stuff now.
Well, not the Muslim Brotherhood, Nation of Islam.
Nation of Islam, rather. Yes.
No, like, and there's
folks they're allowed to exist. Was the best part of the Comey rule.
Yes. They should have brought him in, there was that one black guy.
No, actually, no. Dave Chappelle should have played Jeff Sessions. That's the funniest fucking shit in the world.
Bitch, you cook it like just, but don't even try to play like them. Just or actually do
No,
whiteface.
no, do whiteface and then
Yeah.
actually
Right.
no, try to do it for real.
Yeah,
Try to
that
do it
would have
for
been great. That would have been great. That would have been great. Hollywood's dead. It's dead. And honestly, thank God. Thank God. Got a new Tim Cast to fall asleep to tonight, guys. Go check out Tim Pool.
Sandra Fairbanks returns.
Oh, she does?
Yes.
Yes. I kind of find her somewhat attractive. There's something about
dude,
her.
she's my kind of gal, like these nutty tattoo girls.
Yeah, there's something. It's the tattoos.
I gotta type. You know, these fucking seem a little. They're very self-righteous, but seem a little off.
Yeah,
Let's say it's the trend in my life.
I hear you.
But yeah,
Actually, yeah, no. Hey, go check out the Comey. Dude, listen. I don't know what you're gonna title this. I don't know.
Subox goes to the movies. The Comey Rule 2020.
Yeah, and just be like,
/ analysis. No, we talked about it most of the time.
Yeah, for about
The first
50%,
hour?
60%. Yeah, I would say 50, 60.
Right now, we're looking at about 80%. We're good.
80%? Okay, you guys let us know in the comments what percentage you think we talked about the Comey Rule.
We tore it down, and like, and if people want to bounce after we talked about the Comey Rule, that's their freedom. That's their freedom as patriots, as Americans. Listen to me. Yeah. Look at me, good guy Sean. Basically, just like a James Comey type figure. I release you, genie. I wish that you were free.
I mean, we got some big releases coming out this summer, so we got to get or this fall, spring. Fucking what year were you? Is 2020 over yet? I'm so sick of this shit.
The most exhausting year. Remember Cuties? Doesn't that feel like that happened like 5 years ago?
Dude, this is the most abusive news cycle ever. Like, it's so abusive. You're like, can anything just be okay? Like, and the only time it is like, you know, like, dude, I'm like Twitter. I don't even look at it that often anymore because it's like, you know, it's fun once in a while, but you get
caught in that cycle.
Well, you just sit there looking and you're like, all these people are so negative. Like, I want some positivity.
It's an incredibly negative and narcissistic place.
Except Cassandra Fairbanks, dude. I don't know, baby. If you ever leave your husband and your
married?
kids,
is she married?
Yeah, she's married.
She wasn't married. I don't think she is.
For real?
Dream angel, dream angel.
Are you saying I have a chance?
Will you be mine?
No, she has to be married.
No, she's not.
Yes, she is.
She's not.
She's got kids. Yes, she
no,
is.
She has one child, and she is
Sean,
not.
I'm telling you, she's married, bro.
She literally goes overseas to fuck Julian Assange like a couple times a year, or she used to. That seems to be the implication.
Just implications.
Will you be mine, dream angel?
Something about like
dream angel.
I need to get me a Mexican chick. No, Asian or I'm not dating white women anymore, dude. They're out.
I agree. Because you need a shield, basically, right? Because you can start being more controversial. You'd be like, "What are you talking about? Racist? Look at my black wife."
Yeah.
Look at you could be a real Amy Coney Barrett, and you could be look at my black children.
I think Asian is the more route that I really want to go. You know, I think Asians are not too. What's the word they're using a lot now? Not sexualize. It's a word. Fetishing, like, you know,
Asian women have always been fetishized in America.
Well, I mean, they're beautiful. There's some beautiful Asian women out there. They're just gorgeous. There's something about them. But they're disciplined.
Go check out it's a clip from one of the episodes, a song of rubs and tugs.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you what. Mm-hmm. I had an experience with an older Asian woman.
Yep.
Like a fine one.
I just wanna fucking marry me an Asian woman who just knows to, like, I'm in charge. Like, you know, who are used to being oppressed, because my version of depression is like freedom to them. You know what I mean? Like, or oppression. Sorry, did I say depression? I'm gonna say oppression.
Or you got to get a gal from Hong Kong or something. You got to get a girl.
Yeah, Hong Kong, Thailand, Malaysia, where they have like militant governments. You know.
Yeah, totalitarian governments that like can control every aspect of their life.
Maybe a lady boy. Get a lady boy. They're probably pretty oppressed.
Listen, I know we talked about this on the last Zoobox Prime. Everybody should go listen to it. Dawn of the Baby Presidents, episode 53.
I still agree. I still think.
I was hoping. I hope Dan's not offended, because this is just a joke.
No, I mean, it is funny.
The first thing I posted was, "This is the future Dan wants."
Yes, I saw. Because the dawn of baby presidents. I would agree. Yeah, we need more babies right out of the womb. And we groom. But it is what it is. Listen, I don't know. Go watch Comey Rules, dude. That's all I know. Go watch it. Go check it out.
Go watch the Comey Rule and get yourself, have a good time. Laugh it up.
Please, if you can smoke weed in your local area, or you have the ability to smoke weed, whether it's legal or not, do it and watch the Comey Rule. And subscribe, like, comment, share.
Definitely going to need you to smash that subscribe button.
But if you really don't like sharing at this point, I get it. We're not big enough. But if you could, we're begging.
Yeah, we're just too spicy and not big enough. Like if we had 10,000, 20,000 subscribers, people would be like, yeah, they're edgy, but like whatever, people like them. Like, but now
it's like we're 145. We're not there yet.
We get it, guys. We get it.
Yeah,
we get it. We don't want to ruin your small businesses. We don't want to ruin your family life. But your pussies first and foremost.
Yeah, true.
True. Listen, if you're going to lose friends over Zoobox, it's a good reason to lose friends, first of all. Yeah. Second of all, those really were not your friends in the first place.
I mean, not to mention it, our first, I
feel like we have a sense that we're very edgy, but we're actually pretty tame.
Well, we're fairly tame, I would say, but we're not afraid. The problem is what being edgy today versus edgy 10 years ago is completely, it's completely...
I got fucking... restricted on Twitter for 12 hours because I told people that were repeatedly harassing me and like trying to find my personal social media that I do not have linked to my Twitter, that they were mentally ill and that they're autistic. And they were like, "Oh, now you're attacking the mentally ill." I was like, "Yep, no." I was like, "No, not the mentally ill. I'm calling you mentally ill."
I guess you can't do diagnoses on Twitter.
No, dude, somebody literally said that. They're like, didn't even give a diagnosis, just some sort of general term. I was like, why do you think we're having like a real conversation here, you fucking weirdos? Hashtag justice for Johnny Depp. They're deranged. They might be right in spirit, but their behavior is unacceptable.
Much like the FBI and the Comey Rule.
Thank you for bringing it home. That's the truth. That's the truth right there, everybody. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Zoobox Goes to the Movies, kind of. Zoobox Goes to the Streaming. It's COVID
Tomorrow night debate.
Yeah, that's right.
Tonight on whenever Sean uploads.
It'll be tonight, I guess, for most people when they hear this, the 29th. We're going to be doing a debate. So if you listen to this in the afternoon, you can come back later. We're going to be doing something with the debate. I don't know if we're going to be able to live stream, but we're definitely going to record our thoughts and embed some audio maybe. So, anyways, thank you for listening, everybody. If you would like to know more about Zoobox, you want to keep up to date with everything that goes on in Zoobox Nation, there's a bunch of links in the description for Facebook, for Instagram, for my personal Twitter, for Dan's personal Twitter. Also, if you would like to make a recommendation for a daily movie review video or a Zoobox Goes to the Movies, prime time, you want to go big, we can do that as well. We'll put it on the list. Also, if you'd like a topic for us to cover, you want to just hear our thoughts about a general topic, something, a life thing, a sex question, whatever, throw it in the comments and we will talk about it on Zoobox Prime. You're going to get a wide myriad of a potpourri of answers, I'm sure. It's going to be fun for everybody. You're going to be clutching your chest, laughing. I mean, maybe you'll share that one, you piece of shit.
Breaking news, James O'Keefe says that he might launch the second part to ballot harvesting tonight.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Snake! Yeah, I just started recording. All right. Alrighty.
Is my shit?
Do you have your VPN on or anything like that?
I'm checking. I might be. Might lose you. Oh. I'll lose you.
What's wrong?
Does that work? Is that better?
Yeah, you're back. Dude, I got this picture of you, though. Like, as soon when you went like when you froze or whatever, like when I lost you for a second. I gotta see your face. It was really funny. I'll send it to you. You look like you're about to be like a ghost just appeared on your screen.
Yeah. Oh man, my beard's getting out of control.
Told you, buddy.
Yeah,
Shave
I
that
love it.
shit.
Nah, dude, this ain't happiness for life.
Yeah, let's do this. Let's do the Comey rule.